Okay, so this is Chapter 4, Part 3. So we're going to move on here. We're going to talk about helminths. These include tapeworms, flukes, and roundworms. The adult specimens can be seen usually with the naked eye. Not all flatworms and roundworms are actually parasites. Many live free in the soil and water. And parasitic helminths spend part of their lives in the gastrointestinal tract. So flatworms are very thin, often have segmented bodies. They are divided into two groups: cestodes, which are tapeworms, and trematodes, which are flukes. Tapeworms can actually be acquired by eating undercooked meat, so cook your food, please. Roundworms are also called nematodes, and these guys are elongated and cylindrical. These have no segments in their body, so they're unsegmented. Okay, so there's some pictures of some flatworms, which can be very unpleasant if you have ever experienced any of these. Roundworms, if you've ever had a puppy, you may very well have had to have the puppy wormed, and maybe they had some of these that they passed during a bowel movement. So general worm morphology. These are multicellular animals and are equipped with organs and organ systems. When we talk about pathogenic helminths, the most developed organ is the reproductive tract. Therefore, the rest of their organs are not as developed. Life cycles and reproduction. The complete life cycle includes the fertilized egg, larva, and adult stages. Adults derive nutrients and reproduce sexually in the host's body. So we talk about nematodes, trematodes, and cestodes. This is important that you remember that nematodes are different sexes, and they differ in appearance. So you have the male and the female. Trematodes can be separate or hermaphroditic, which means one particular adult can be both male and female. And then cestodes are generally just hermaphroditic. So trematodes and cestodes can be both hermaphroditic, whereas trematodes can also have separate sexes. The helminth life cycle, it must be transmitted in an infective form in an egg or larva to the body of another host. In the host in which the larva develops is known as the intermediate host, and the adult and mating occur in the definitive or the final host. The transport host is we refer to that as an intermediate host that experiences no parasitic development, so it's just kind of the carrier. Sources for human infection are contaminated food, soil, and water, or sometimes infected animals, and routes of infection are by oral intake or penetration of tissues. So we have some examples of some helminths and how they are transmitted. So if I were you, I would read through this. It's got some interesting stuff here. I'm not going to go through and read each one. So egg laying, the fertilized eggs, these guys are released to the environment and provided with a protective shell and an extra food source that aid in their development into larvae. The egg stage is vulnerable to heat, cold, drying, and predators. And some helminths can lay from 200,000 to 25 million eggs a day to assure successful completion of their life cycle. So Enteromoebius vermicularis is the pinworm or the seat worm. And some people refer to it as the seat worm. Common infestation of the large intestine. They range from 2 to 12 millimeters long with tapered, curved, cylindrical shapes. The life cycle of the pinworm, you should know this, so make sure that you're able to write this out for me on the test, because it's not going to be a matching or multiple choice. You're going to have to physically write down the life cycle of the pinworm. So how does it go from one point to another? Well, we have microscopic eggs that are swallowed, picked up from another infected person or objects that they have touched. Those eggs after they're swallowed will hatch in the intestine. While in the intestine, the larvae mature into adults, and that takes about a month. Male and female worms mate, and those females actually migrate to the anus and deposit eggs. This actually causes intense itching, and then that scratching will actually allow for the spread of those eggs. So you should be able to regurgitate this to me on the exam. So you can see a lot of times, you may have heard of a child having a pinworm infection. It's, very easy to kind of transfer. Distribution importance of parasitic worms. About 50 species of helminths cause disease in humans. They're distributed in all areas of the world, so just because we live in the United States doesn't mean you're not going to have a parasitic worm infection. There is a higher incidence in tropical areas, and a yearly estimate of cases is in the billions and are not confirmed to developing countries. Alright, so that is it for Chapter 4. Make sure that you don't forget to go in and do your homework in McGraw-Hill Connect for Chapter 4 and also Chapter 3 and Chapter 5, because this unit test is on Chapters 3, 4, and 5. See you in class.